She gets stopped and asked for photos and all of that. So do I, but people think I'm Ryan Joyce. So,
get any advice off the law before playing that
You
first
won't want
game?
any advice from me, crikey.
definitely not. No, I wanted to win.
Mum's the worst.
Yeah, your mum, definitely. In more ways than one, she's the worst.
I don't know whether you can see, but behind you... Hello, welcome along to this very special edition of the Tungsten Talk here at the MODUS Super Series, where we're going to delve a little bit off topic today, because instead of talking about one individual, well, we're going to talk about one of darts' golden couples, because Laura Turner and Aaron Turner are here. Now, Laura, you're about to... This is being recorded before a session Aaron's playing in. Now, you're about to commentate on Aaron play. First of all, is that harder than any other commentary you ever probably going to have to do in your life?
I guess the idea is to ask me after I've done it, but yeah, it's going to be a strange one, isn't it? Because obviously I'm normally quite motivated obviously to see him do well. So you know, this is going to be different. Let's just say that.
As for you, Aaron, I can imagine you're probably going to be clinging on to every single word Laura says, and if anything's said out of place, it'll probably be used for life, won't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, normally when she talks, I'm accused of not listening, so it will be a change to watch this back and have some evidence of an actual conversation or something she said. There's
an irony, of course, as a Sky Sports pundit that we've had to ask that. Let's... This is going to be a Tungsten Talk which goes down into the depths of time, let me guarantee you this. Let's talk about the dynamic then in terms of darts and being together, being a couple. What's that like, particularly in terms of touring life?
I mean, it's been difficult, isn't it, at times? Especially
yeah, it's very hard to juggle it all around, isn't it? It's you know, with the kids, it's extremely, you know, the grandparents play a big role in what we do. Especially now with the ladies series, because it's, you know, we're not going to the same venues. So I'm doing the WDF tour. Laura's on the ladies series or women's series. So yeah, it's a juggling act, to say the least.
And how difficult is it? Because usually when, obviously, we speak so much about players, about the sacrifices they make, and usually when we talk about that, it's partners that possibly bear the brunt of a lot of things, such as childcare, whether it be other things, if it be emotional support. That the fact that you're both on tour, how difficult is that to kind of lean on one another, and then also, as you mentioned, your diary's in two completely different places to try and get the balance correct?
Yeah, it's tough because we kind of, one goes in the door, the other one kind of goes out. But because we both play and we've both got ambitions to do well, I think there is that kind of understanding as well, and a different kind of support where, you know, someone who doesn't play and doesn't quite get it, you know, they may not be quite so supportive, but, you know, you get to go to Vegas and I get to go to Leicester. I mean, it's so fair, right?
Yeah, well, I totally agree. And I love the peace and quiet when you're away, so it's a win-win.
I don't know whether you can see, but behind you...
Oh, that's brilliant.
The players that are playing in this group are very much enjoying the dynamic of...
No, they know. They know.
Have you had some banter in the practice room about that yet, Aaron?
Yeah, all day yesterday. So yeah, totally. They've been giving me stick, so yeah, I have.
And just a caveat to this, I didn't quite realise I was doing the same session as him, so I did ask you, didn't I? Do you mind? You're like, no, but now it's here. It's probably a bit more real.
Yeah, I mean, everyone says you're going to be biased, but I don't think you are. I think it's going to be totally the other way. I think you're going to be more, well, I wouldn't say horrid, but...
a bit brutal.
Brutal, that's the right word, yeah. More brutal towards me.
So who's it gonna be worse for? Is it gonna be for you commentating on Aaron, or for Aaron to play and then hear what Laura's saying back?
No, I think for me, because Aaron's one of those players, you're focused when you're doing a job, aren't you? You want to win. You've done a really good day yesterday, so, you know, I'd love to see Aaron here on Saturday, where I'm commentating again, by the way. But no, I'd love to. Yeah, I'd like to think I'd be quite fair, but you know, we've got expectations for you as a family. We want you to do well.
Yeah, thank you.
The worst bit is I've got to try and rein Laura in throughout the course of the day, and it's usually the other way round, isn't
Yeah,
it?
good luck with that.
You mentioned a practice in the practice room. What is practice like? Do you practice a lot together, or do you just try and do actually your own thing?
Never. I think the last time we practiced was during lockdown, just because the pubs were shut, basically. I couldn't get down there, so I had nothing else to do. But I think you practice once a week with Lorraine Winstanley, sort of online. And yeah, I go out a couple of nights a week, and that's my practice. But as practicing goes together, it's never happened in 20 years, really.
No, it's just
other than lockdown.
Yeah, I think because obviously before the kids, we used to go out together and practice. You know, our practice was going out and playing matches. And now, obviously, you know, there's the playing side of things, but for me as well, there's also the commentary. So, you know, if I'm not ferrying the kids around or, you know, dropping Aaron off to darts, I'll be doing commentary, and it's quite hard for me to fit in any kind of time. And then when we do actually get some time at home, it's actually just nice to be at home.
Yeah, definitely.
In some ways, does it help as well, because you're not always consumed by darts? That actually, a lot of the time in your own company, even though you both share the same hobbies and the same aspirations and the same dreams, actually you can just decompartmentalize from it a little bit.
I guess so. I mean, you know, darts is a massive part of both our lives, but as you say, we're quite happy to kind of chuck on a film and fall asleep on the sofa before like the first half an hour's kind of finished. I think that's the standard night in at the moment.
It is, yeah, definitely. Definitely. After running the kids around everywhere, all their clubs and everything, yeah.
And how interesting is that dynamic as well? Because obviously you're trying to both keep up careers, and you've got those goals and those aspirations, and also that the family's trying to get involved as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, she's your number one travel buddy now, isn't she? Neve, our eldest, so she plays for Hampshire, but she goes out 2-3 nights a week with you, and she's playing in the vaults.
In the vaults, yeah. She's playing tonight, funnily enough, in the vaults. Yeah, she's just enjoying it. You know, it's there's no expectations or anything there, and yeah, she just loves the game of darts. You know,
it's a massive family thing for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, because if you go in the other direction, sorry, Mum, but, you know, if you go to my mum or sideways to my sister, I mean, your parents played as well. Brother-in-law and Mike Gillett, you know, it's just, you can't get away from it. To be fair, my dad used to play all the time. He was a very good player as well. It was, my parents were the reason I got into it. But, yeah, he doesn't, he finds it takes over our lives a bit too much. He's now kind of sticking with his motorbikes, Dad.
How competitive is the family Christmas darts tournament?
Yeah, no, it is. It is. What with Mike there and Tara, you know.
Mum's the worst.
Yeah, your mum definitely. In more ways than one, she's the worst.
Sorry, Mum. Oh my God, you did not.
Do you want me to send that bit to you so you can use it for Christmas dinner?
Yeah, sorry, next time she needs to look after Neve and Isla.
Yeah. Can I take that back?
Unfortunately, that is there for the rest of time. But how nice is that for you as well, as parents, to see your kids come through and also have aspirations to play the game and very good at the game as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's gone from, you know, when they were really little. I remember the Isle of Man one year. I had them kind of sitting behind me whilst I'm trying to play a game of darts when they were kind of like 3 and 5 or something. And they've been brought up around it. So the fact that they're interested in playing, because the younger one is quite interested as well, Isla, but her passion is football. But just the fact that they can be involved, get involved, and they enjoy being involved, it kind of is a big help for us, because, you know, we can take them with us.
And also as well, how important is it, yes, okay, that they want to play, but also having no pressure just because of who the parents are?
Yeah, I don't think I don't know, they're very level-minded, but they don't seem to feel pressure, or, you know, that we don't put any pressure on them. You know, like I said earlier, we just want them to enjoy themselves, and, you know, that's more than half the battle, isn't it? You know, to playing good darts is enjoying yourself, but there's certainly no pressure on them, or no expectation. Neve just, I don't know, she just gets on and plays and enjoys herself. That's it. It's key.
How difficult is it though to watch? Is it worse than watching yourself play, or playing yourself?
I was going to say, I haven't watched myself. That's quite some mean feat if you can do that. But No, absolutely. Watching any family member, watching Aaron at the WDF, that's, heart in mouth moment, and watching Neve up at County as well, just because you kind of want them to do so well, because the hard work that goes into it to trying to get into those positions. But yeah, I think, especially when Neve started, I was like, I'm very nervous.
No, very nervous, because you want to see them do well. They're your kids, but at the same time, I enjoy it. But yeah, watching Neve is enjoyable. Watching Laura and her mum, painful. Yeah, but no, it's good. It's a good little family. It's like a family outing when we play county and that. So yeah.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit more about the serious side to it and some of what you've both achieved in your career. I want to start with you, Laura, because you started off, you played, and then you took a bit of a break from the game. How would you discuss your story within the sport of darts?
Yeah, I guess as a youth player, I was really involved. I mean, Aaron and I met, we've been married 17 years. We met in 2000. So, and I was a youth player then, and we kind of travelled around quite a bit to start with. Aaron was already, world master, youth world master by that point as well. So, yeah, that's where it kind of all started from. And I've always kind of stayed in, but just never really given the tour a go until kind of around 2018, I think it was. When we just thought between the pair of us, right, let's give this a good shot. So we've always done Hailing Islands and holiday camp places and day tournaments and little opens. So it's always been there or thereabouts. But yeah, it was at that point you just think, right, let's give this a crack.
As for you, Aaron, how would you describe your journey within darts?
Yeah, eventful. No, I don't know. When Laura started doing it in 2018, at first I was just tagging along and going for the fun, but then you realise, I can still play a bit, and you start looking, the main pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is Lakeside, so you set all ambitions to try and qualify for Lakeside, and that's sort of the ambition, and it has been, I don't know, since 2019 to try and qualify for Lakeside each year.
Because for you, obviously, we saw the second coming you playing at Lakeside, but there was a part one to the career of Aaron Turner, wasn't there?
Yeah, many moons ago. Yeah, long time ago. I've been involved, playing darts. I started playing senior county when I was 14. I won't say the year, but it was in the 90s, early. I've been playing a long time, but it's trying to take it a bit more serious now and again, and doing stuff like this is fantastic. Yeah.
You mentioned the decision then to play the tour, play that more seriously in 2018. Was that again in mind with the family dynamic, just having maybe a little bit more time to commit to those things?
When you look back on it, I think it was a bit of an odd time to choose, to be fair, because the kids were really young. But I guess we had the support network in place. You had people pushing you to do it. We'd gone along to some of the ranked tournaments on the South Coast, like Selsey, and done quite well, and just thought, I think the first one I remember doing was the Czech Open, and just off the back of that, okay, then we tried the Dutch Open, and I think I made a semi-final at the Dutch, which is, that's quite some going at the Dutch Open, and then it just built from there on in. So it was like a kind of tentative commitment to the tour, and all of a sudden you pick up these points and you realise you're quite high in the rankings. And as Aaron said, then that carrot at the end is trying to make it at Lakeside, and luckily for me, picked up a win right at the end of that first year, and it was the very last tournament, I think, or second to last at Bridlington, and that got me qualified for the first one.
What was that feeling like when you knew you're going to be playing at Lakeside? And for you, Aaron, what was that like to know that Laura's going to be playing at that World Championship as well?
Yeah, no, it was fantastic, because it's you get what you deserve, really, and she earned the ranking points, so it was fantastic to see, and yeah, it was a great day, wasn't it? Really, to not the day that she qualified, but the first appearance at Lakeside. All the hard work that's been put in. You reap that reward, and you have your day out. Your 15 minutes of fame or what have you.
Do you remember the debut at
I
Lakeside?
do, yeah. That did. It wasn't great. It was Anastasia, I think it was. Yeah, I didn't win a leg. And I think that's the flip side of it. Because of all the hard work you put in, then you put maybe a bit too much into that one particular game. And it was my second time playing in front of the cameras, first time there, and just the experience was overwhelming. I was like a rabbit in the headlights. And that's where things like this, where you get multiple games in front of cameras, that really can help. You just get used to that type of environment. You go years, don't you, without actually playing in front of the stage, and all of a sudden it's like, right. And some people can do it. Unfortunately, I just found out really quickly I wasn't one of them.
And so how important was it then to have that support network of Aaron in that moment, just to dust yourself off from that disappointment quite quickly?
But, having your family around is just the ground you, don't they? They share your disappointment. They understand. They're there for you. They give you a bit of time, and then you just pick yourself back up and you go again. And that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, yep, definitely.
And then it wasn't too long after, I suppose, that the tables flip. You then make your debut at the Lakeside. Did you actually get any advice off the law before playing that
You
first
won't want
game?
any advice from me,
No,
crikey.
definitely not. No, I wanted to win.
I can't argue. I have had one.
Yeah.
Just not at Lakeside. It was at the O2.
So, but then, as I mentioned, the fact that, so again, is that just another one of those where even though you're both fully engaged with darts, you both fully enjoy it, you both play competitive, is it kind of where you just keep things kind of aside a little bit? You'll share experiences, but maybe not always ask everything of one another kind of thing?
Look, we're just there to back each other up. So Aaron might say to me one time, like, bring your darts, and then if you need a practice partner in those times, we'll just play some practice games, or Neve will practice with you. Or this last couple of years, James Beaton's been kind of with us, hasn't he? And then we've kind of engaged with, we're just making sure that whatever the other person needs when they're playing, you know, that you're there to support them, really, to give them their headspace, to make sure that they're just freed up to just focus on the job in hand.
What's it like being married to a celebrity, Aaron?
I don't know.
That's the right answer.
Yeah, no, it's very odd when people come up and ask her for an autograph, because to me she's just Laura, you know. And yeah, it's very hard, you know. When I go up to the Ali Pali at the World Championships and Laura's commentating, you know, it can take 15 minutes to do a 5-minute walk because she gets stopped and asked for photos and all of that. So do I, but people think I'm Ryan Joyce. So, yeah, there is that.
There was one year that Ryan Joyce commented on our anniversary photo.
Yeah, I had a 15-minute conversation at the Scottish Open with someone who thought I was Ryan Joyce, and he was just saying how your darts are going great, and I was like, yeah, thanks, cheers, mate, cheers. And it was only at the end of the conversation, he said, I thought you'd have a much thicker Geordie accent than what I've got, and he realised he wasn't talking to Ryan Joyce but Aaron Turner. So
Just don't pull up the result at Lakeside a month earlier.
well, exactly, yeah.
In terms of the play, I don't think I've actually ever asked you this question, or where did it all begin, the whole commentary stuff?
So I was working behind the scenes at at that first video tournament. I was doing some stuff for the website and kind of helping boost, or social media and things. And they asked if I wanted to commentate on the women's final, which seemed a bit crazy considering that I lost 6 straight legs in the first round. But I thought, well, you've got to embrace these opportunities, do something that scares you. So I did that. It got picked up by the people at Sky, and got my trial. It was a long wait. It was the Grand Slam.
I think Colin Lloyd played a big part, didn't he?
Lloydie was the one that phoned me.
Put you forward to the PDC.
Yeah, Colin Lloyd.
Sky,
It was a strange circumstances that I get a text from a friend, Ashley, who then said, "Can I give your number to Colin Lloyd?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "I don't know," but he's just asking. Lloydie phones me up. Then all of a sudden, the producer Rory from Sky gives me a call and says, "We'd like to try you at the Grand Slam," and it was like, that's what, November. So it was a long old wait, and it was a bit nerve wracking. But I did a little bits in between as well, just small bits at BDO events, just to build up that bit of confidence. And yeah, I've stuck around ever since.
Did you ever envisage that as being the path you'd ever tread?
No, absolutely not. Never really thought about it. You know, especially when it comes to, it's one of the things that I've found quite difficult to deal with personally is, you know, I haven't got the accolades that a lot of the other commentators have got.
No, but you can talk for England, as we can see here.
Yeah, no, he's asked me a question, but yeah, no, I just didn't have that level, did I? You know, I haven't won a world championship or a big title, so that always kind of, you know, that opens you up to a little bit of criticism as like, why are you doing it? But hopefully, you know, because I can talk for England, as Aaron says, hopefully I'm saying some of the right stuff.
Does that not become daunting, but because of what you said, when you step into that booth for the first time, is that something that you just have to get out of your mind straight away? Because you know what you're talking about. We've commentated together so many times. Yeah,
I think, you know, I did a lot of research. I made sure that I had all the facts and, you know, did as much as I could. But yeah, I think when you're in the booth, and you may feel the same, it's just like it cuts you off from the rest of the world and you enjoy it, and then you walk out and you think, oh, what did I say there? And then you start trying to play it back over to make sure that it was all okay and listen to it back. And, you know, and any criticism, you know, people might not like you, that's totally fine. Any criticism about what I've said, that's fine, but some of it's quite personal. So, you know, that's where it gets a bit difficult, and that's why I've, you know, take that little step back from social media and just, you know, have to kind of speak to Aaron and just forget about it, if you know what I mean.
How do you find the dynamic now where you're doing a lot of commentary but also trying to mix the playing side? How do you find that dynamic? Does it actually sometimes put a bit more pressure on yourself because you are in the spotlight because of your other job?
It did. I'm not so worried about it now. It's just taken a bit of an adjustment because I'm so focused on comms that I would commentate my own game in my own head, which is just sounds really stupid. I know, but I would. You know, needs to take this opportunity, and instead of just going, "Come on, let's just do it," it would be like, "Oh, yeah, take that step back, take that pause," and I was just overthinking everything. But now it's a bit like, yeah, no, you've got to forget, leave that at the door, crack on with the darts.
When you're watching the darts and Laura's on the telly, what kind of pride does that give you?
Don't say you hit the mute button.
Yeah, I'll put Coronation Street on. No, of course I'm proud of her. Yeah, you know what she's done, what she's achieved. It's, you know, it hasn't just been given to her. She works hard at it. You know, she does her research. She doesn't just turn up and blag her way through it, so to speak. You know, she puts the hours in that people don't see. So, yeah, no, you know, me and, well, the whole family, you know, not just me, the kids, her mum and dad, everyone's proud of her, yeah.
Final question, who's going to win more titles in 2025?
Aaron.
Bo Greaves.
Yeah.
On that note, do you know what? This has actually been probably my favourite ever Tungsten talk I've ever done. Thank you so much. It's been a really...
Mine too.
It's been an absolute delight. Thank you to the pair of you. Thank you for watching the latest edition of the Tungsten Talk here at the MODUS Super Series. That's definitely staying in the outtakes.